Hey there darlings, welcome back to Roots and Refuge Farm. I just finished editing a vlog for you that I've got for you to watch today. But first I wanted to alert you all, make this announcement. We have merch again. We have shirts and sweatshirts and multiple options of these things. Some of our old favorite designs like Grow Something Lovely and I'm a Frost Tender Flower are back, as well as a couple of new designs. We have spent the last few months getting multiple samples from multiple places, trying to find the best option that we can bring you guys the highest quality product with great customer service. So we've settled on a provider. The link I will put down below, but you will also be seeing it pop up underneath our videos now. Because we've got it linked to our YouTube. You'll also notice if you check on this shop for merch on any of our channels, Roots and Refuge, The Farmer's Table, or Maya's Workshop, we actually have the options for each channel in each shop. So actually got some new designs for The Farmer's Table I'm really excited about. We're pushing for 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year over on that channel. I've been making a lot of content there. I'll put a link to it also. But thank you so much for your support, for wearing our merch. We try to make designs that can be conversation starters, that when you're wearing these shirts, it's not just about our channel, it's about our interests that we obviously share with you guys. And I know that it started many a conversation about gardening, homesteading, cooking, all of these things while I'm out and about. I hope it does the same for you. Thank you again. Let's watch this vlog. Even Bear knows he doesn't want to go out. Yeah, it's yucky, dude. It's yucky. They're clear cutting more trees over there.
Yeah, I don't know where. Kind of looks like it's through there. See where it's getting thinner?
Yeah. When we bought our property, there were pine trees
all around us.
All around this whole, there's 2 parcels right there that were pine trees, and of course we got them, that whole stand. They cut these down. They cut the first section down that was right behind our house the week we put our house there. And then the following, that Christmas time, they cut this stand down. And now we've been told by, neighbors that know local people that this stand was going to be cut here soon. They started working like all the way down the road and I don't know, the summer, but I hear the machinery going and it's getting just a little thin through there. We live right in the middle of like agroforestry land.
Yeah.
And we don't own these properties, so obviously, here's the thing, like that was planted to be harvested. Like you can't let pine trees that are planted like that just keep going. But every time they cut a stand down, it like changes our prevalent wind. It just changes how our property feels and looks, and so I don't know, it's kind of just waiting to see what's next. Good thing the drainage works.
Yep, that's me.
Good job. Your horses are mad at you.
I know, but they can't stay in the stalls overnight, so.
Why is that?
Because of how low they are.
Oh.
If they were to rear up, they could get their leg caught in between the gate or something.
Right.
That's why I've got it on the list of things to do. We're going to rework for the stalls to become horse stalls.
Okay.
And at that point, they'll be able to stay there and stay the night.
When Maya built our barn, we built it not necessarily for horses, and that's what he's saying. He needs to rebuild the walls so that they're different to make them safer. As it is, the horses don't spend the night in the barn. They can come in like while we're out here or during the day, but you don't want to leave them in there for extended periods. Hello, Helen. Well, at least we made it out before the bottom fell out again. I'm going to put some fresh straw down in here for them since it's going to keep raining. Normally they don't spend nearly as much time in here. Come on, girls. So I just poured some Lespedeza pellets in for the goats. That is a grass, and so that's not grain, it's just pelleted compressed grass, and it helps support their system against parasites. I'm gonna lay down some fresh bedding too. Just with the amount of rain we've had the last couple days and the amount that's coming, they're just tracking a lot of moisture in here, and it's time for it anyway. And Maya just moved their little mineral bucket because it got wet. Maya, I think Helen would like to be milked. I'm pretty sure that's cow for milk me now.
So she kind of reminds me of Eeyore.
Oh yeah.
It's like me. Me. Thanks for milking me.
You ready for your close-up? See you, Toast.
Come on.
I had to get out of the way. I was cramping her style.
She's like, I ain't going in there with another woman. Come on. Your stall awaits you, my lady. With a cat.
Alright, we are headed out to the chickens. Trying to get through the morning stuff fairly quickly because we have a little bit of a reprieve in the rain right now. It's very light, but it is going to pick back up. No ma'am. Freya's trying to get the chicken food. No ma'am. I escaped. She saw the bucket of feed. Thought she might try to get a little nibble. Here's another little look at how wet it's been here lately. I think it takes a lot of rain for our drainage to backfill this much. So the couple weeks before Christmas are like, this is the season of the year that I do the absolute least gardening. I pretty much just harvest stuff out of the high tunnel as needed and, you know, do a little bit of resetting, but I usually don't do very much. And then after the holiday season wraps up, I dive into it. This is a very important season too because the dreary, empty garden makes me miss the garden. It makes me want to do the work. This is an important part. It's where the longing is grown. Good night, it's wet in there. All right. Something has been roosting on our electric fence charger. There's bird poop on it. Oh, the rain's picking back up. I need to hurry. Maya said he stashed an egg bucket over here in the greenhouse. Hey look, my hollyhocks are coming back. They reseeded. Those will grow over winter and then bloom in the spring. Alright, in we go. Oh man, it's so wet. I'm gonna find a drier spot to drop the scratch. Come on, chickens! So they have their waterproof feeders that we fill up every few days. So they have plenty of actual feed that's got the appropriate amount of protein for layers, but we just give them some scratch every day, especially when it's wet like this, and in the winter when they're in like a sacrifice area rather than being moved to new ground every couple of days. The scratch just gives them something extra. So how wet it is in here, this is very unusual. And I'm looking at it being like, man, what should we do about this? Probably it'll be fine, but if we go through the winter This is our first time doing like this big of a pen over winter. If we go through the winter and it's just staying this wet, we'll shrink down this yard and get it where we can throw some chips or something in here. And we may do that anyway, just because they've done their work cleaning out this garden space, and this is too much space for us to try to cover the wetness. So I don't know, I need to think on this. I don't like this. Brought more hay out for bedding because when it is this wet outside, dirty eggs are pretty inevitable, but also the hens stay in the coop more, therefore they poop in the nest boxes more. So you pretty much have to change the bedding out. Any day that's like this, you have to change it out. And when we've had, you know, 3 or 4 consecutive days in a row like this, it just kind of is a compounding issue. Alright, now I'm going to go down and make sure the sheep have fresh water. I sprinkled there for a minute and then it stopped again. We're supposed to get like some really heavy rain coming in, and I really want to get all these things done before that happens, because I love sitting on my couch in my comfy pants, working on my crochet or cooking in my kitchen. I don't even mind doing laundry, watching a nice Hallmark Christmas movie whenever the rain is heavy. But what I do not want to be doing is feeding chickens and watering sheep. Hello, sheep. Oh, we're good. We're just fine on water. A few of the little ones have burrowed down underneath the hay bale. Did you find a nice warm spot? Well, that was very easy. I figured it would be a pretty easy morning. Jeremiah's covering the other barn chores and the pigs already cared for, so we're good. I can't believe how many leaves we still have on trees. It's like they're really steadily falling now, but normally they'd be bare by now. Alright, I am going to make some breakfast. I just grabbed this little sampling of eggs. Aren't those just lovely? In the winter, I mean, you saw the nest boxes, you saw the pen. I have to scrub eggs. The rest of the year I don't ever have to scrub eggs because we move our chickens to new grass every few days, and so they're never really walking on mud. But in order to let the grass recover more during the like really wet season when the grass isn't growing, we just do the sacrifice pen thing, and it's like I have to scrub eggs for 2.5 months out of the year. I've got my bacon laid out on my pan and I'm waiting for that oven to preheat. So if you missed the long video, Maya and I did a really long video a few weeks ago kind of catching up on life events and letting you guys know that we're about to start homeschooling our kids again and kind of talking about that. I am cracking these directly into the bowl because I just gathered them, and I'm just hoping that I don't make an example of myself. I always crack them into a separate bowl in case one's bad. I think we're good. Yeah, we shared that we are going back to homeschooling. We homeschooled for years, and then when we moved here, we had access to a close, very small, private school. And we put our boys in. It's where Jackson graduated. Asher is continuing to graduate from there. We love the school. It's actually why, you know, I think I started to really feel wanting to homeschool the boys again at the end of last school year. And I've always said that it was a possibility that we may go back to it. And I've always really seen it being a possibility with Ben specifically, because Ben is very much like, he doesn't thrive in a classroom setting. He's incredibly intelligent, but really hates sitting still. And obviously, like, we live in a really great environment to bring up a child like that. Toby and Ezra, they've really liked school. Now, Ben loves the people at school, but the actual act of going and sitting to learn and having to process information that way, he has really not liked that as much. So I've always known it would be like in the realm of possibility to come back to homeschooling at some point, and with all of the downsizing and scaling back that we've been doing this year, and really just getting back to the roots of things, getting back to simplicity, putting everything on the chopping block. It really did come back up. Of us wanting to and the boys also wanting to. Anyway, we decided to finish out the semester, and now we're coming to the close of that with the holidays, and then we're beginning homeschool at the beginning of the year. It's all these little things that I'm very excited for, but one of the big things that all the little things add up to make is I am so excited to be able to like get back into that rhythm on our farm. How I love homesteading in any capacity, whether you're going and working outside the home, your kids are going to school elsewhere, you have other things going on. It's great that this is the launch pad and the landing place. It's great that this is where we come back to and the rhythms of growing food throughout the year. But when I have the option of seeding as many things as possible in that rhythm of the farm, like having school here and of course having work here, it just allows everything to become very woven together, and I really like that. I thrive with that. So I've been thinking about one of the little things that kind of leads up to that bigger rhythm is I am so excited to be able to like cook breakfast again. With my kids being in school, of course, it's all stuff I've made ahead of time, or, you know, this morning I made like a pot of oatmeal. It's like faster things that we can make faster but also eat quickly. And I am so excited. What our plan is, you know, we'll have like the little grab and go things, because we do have some very early risers that like to eat something as soon as they wake up. But then we'll go out and do farm chores and then have a big breakfast a little later in the morning. And I love that rhythm. And Maya and I do that often, but having the boys here for that is going to be really great. So I just pause sometimes when I'm shooting a vlog, well, behind the scenes. I'll shoot it, especially when it's outside, and in my mind I'm like rushing to try to beat the rain, and I don't really have a grid of how much footage I have. I don't know how long the video is. I'll stop and edit what I have so far to know what else I need to add to it. Anyway, I opened my laptop, and this was just such a perfect example of what I was trying to explain about Ben and why I've kind of always known I may bring him back to homeschooling, because of how he learns and how he is as a student. I just opened my laptop and a few things clicked together. So what is open on my laptop is this gentleman here and this video, how to whistle very loud. So I have to tell you, yesterday I drove Asher for his class Christmas gathering party thing to Augusta, Georgia. And then afterwards we did some Christmas shopping. Well, while I was out, I got a notification on my phone from my camera doorbell thing. And Ben was on the front porch whistling, like just so loud, like for several minutes. And of course it's recording him doing it. And this morning, I showed the video to Jeremiah. Like, I was like, what was up with this? You know, because I can look at the videos on my phone from the front porch. And he said, oh my goodness. He was like, yesterday in the house, Ben just starts whistling so loud over and over and over. And he's like, eventually I told him to go outside because it was just so loud. I was like, that's outside sound. So he went and stood on the front porch and whistled for like 10 minutes. And now I open my laptop and find the video that he had gone to watch to learn how to whistle like that. And he was practicing it so he could master it. That's the kind of learner that Ben is. When he decides he wants to learn something, he goes hard in paint, like he learns the thing. But if he's not as interested in it, it's much more of a struggle because he wants to learn what he wants to learn. So anyway, perfect example of what I was explaining. Great illustration. I'm gonna edit this video now, which I think probably at this point is long enough for me to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. God bless you. Until next time.